Welcome to the illustration block of CG Spectrum's Twitch page. I'm your host, Eric Wilkerson, and today I am going to be painting some stuff in junks, so feel free to watch or listen to me breathe into the mic, your choice. If you have any questions, if there's anybody that shows up and has any questions, anything art related, please feel free to type it in the chat. Otherwise, I am going to just sit here and paint and work this design out for the next 2 hours. So, welcome. And if you can't hear me, or if there's any mic issues, audio issues, let me know. Turn up the volume on your phone, on your computer, or clean the ham out your ears. One of the three. Okay, so start. Is anybody out there watching right now? Say hi or hold your peace. Some music. Hey, Luis. So I saw that a couple of people on your Instagram were asking you to share your piece, Box Girl piece, with some some gallery sites on Instagram that have like 300,000 followers. So might want to jump on that. More exposure you can get, the better. Luis, can you hear me? Is my audio okay? Have a slow internet connection? Okay, there's a little delay. Did you hear what I was saying about the Instagram, your Instagram post? Um, there were some folks asking you to share it, with some other people. Some of the some of the groups that want you to share it with have like hundreds of thousands of followers, so it might be a good exposure. Can't hurt to share it. So, oh, thanks, Tatum. Thank you. Hey, Tatum. I saw in my email that you're going to be one of my new students. Smokes. So, looking forward to that. Looking forward to chatting, seeing you live and in person. So it looks like it's going to be me, and one other student, I think, in that class. Maybe there's some more. I don't know. I gotta check my some lag issues with Rush here, so forgive me. I'm gonna move my screen around. Easy person for a minute. Sure, my Rush isn't lagging. Let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, how is everybody? So if you're just tuning in, I'm making these little blobs. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong with my brush. I think I might have one too many things open. Now it's slowing down the machine, which is awesome to be happening to me live. Oh, Luis, you blocked them? Oh. Well, you can unblock them. Yeah, if there are gallery sites, I don't know what you call them, aggregator sites, something like that. Pages on Instagram where they're basically galleries that have similar types of work on it, where so that if somebody doesn't want to search around all of Instagram to look at something cool, they might just go to one site that has a gallery collection of a bunch of different stuff. Like I follow a couple of sci-fi art Instagram pages that just plucks from all over the internet and post that stuff on their Instagram page. So um, it's a way of getting followers too, because if you contact one of those gallery sites on Instagram and say, "Hey, check out my piece. Hope you can share it." And if they do, if it's a if it's a page that has 300,000 followers, a million followers, something like that. Um, the way Instagram's algorithm works, only 10% of that audience is seeing those visuals anyway, but that's still thousands of people, right? And if you get a few new followers out of it, then it's worth it because you don't know who's going to share it after that. And if it leads to money, that's great. Um, like I tell my students that some of the successes that I've had in the past few years have come from the fact that somebody shared my stuff on social media and it caught the eye of my agent, who then contacted me and asked if I wanted to be represented, was looking for representation. So you never really know who's going to see it and how they're going to respond. Go for it, man. DM those people. Get all up in their DMs, as the kids say. As the kids say, I don't know. I said that. I'm not. It makes me sound like I'm. All right. I think I'm back in business. Yeah, that's what I said, Audrey. Like, you sound like I'm not. My knees still have a few good years left. So I left this portrait in a rough spot last week, and I only had 2 hours to work on it. So that's all I that's all I do. That's all I put into this every week is 2 hours. So if you go back and watch this and see the progression of this, like the thought process of this piece, how it all how how it has been working. Really? Oh, that's great to hear, man. That's great to hear. And you see, what makes that even better? So for anybody that's watching this later that can't see the chat, um Luis is one of my students and he has been working on some splash art style, Magic the Gathering style, uh card art kind of illustration samples, in addition to his own professional work that he's been bringing into class to help to me to help him with. And so he did this splash art style image called Fox Girl. So it's actually a loose portrait of his daughter as a fox, like hybrid girl chasing after some fairies. Um, and it really shows artistic growth. Um, Luis has been in my class only 10 weeks now, and there's a huge jump in the quality of his work from week 1 to week 10. And so this is he's posting his most successful piece to date, and it's getting reactions, it's getting a response online. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It's about results. It's about following advice of your mentor and video content from CD Spectrum. Um, and applying that to success. Success. So I'm happy for you. Happy that things are going all right. And more importantly, Luis, it's not about the likes. It's not about the likes. It's does your daughter like it? Because it is a portrait of her. Does she want to print on her wall now? That's what I want to know. That's the most important thing. Good. That's great. That's the best part. Ooh, that'd be cool. So you're gonna have to. How large are you thinking about making the oil painting? Exciting. Actually had foxes. Yeah, I saw a fox running through my neighborhood just last week when I put the trash out. So random. Don't dogs do that too? Little puppies? Don't don't dogs pee when they're happy? Old folks pee when they're happy too, or just in general. So I'm told, right? Yeah, Audrey. He thought she was. He didn't think he was going to hear that kind of conversation, that kind of potty mouth, potty mouth. Oh, got puns for days. Didn't think you were going to hear that when you woke up this morning. Thought this was all going to be about concept art and composition and not adult diapers. He said, I am shocked. I am shocked and appalled. For some reason, I'm not getting the brush quality that I want. I guess that works. But Audrey, tell me, whose class are you in? What are you studying right now? Give me if I've already asked you that uh, 10 times. If you already said Hamza or somebody, give me. Okay, good. Hamza, intro. You guys are always busting him. on the DigiPaint um, for teasing him about gathering reference and his love of Sid Mead and whatnot. That is funny. I just imagine him just minding his business, eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes, and he checks his phone. He's like, "What? Really? They're lucky I can't grade them." It's funny stuff. Oh, busted him on his foods too. That's funny. Goodness. Well, if he talks about Sid Mead too much, I talk about Kung Fu Panda at least once a week. Um, about the color and lighting choices and the palette of the film and the uh, psychological reasons for the color choices and how those colors evoke an emotional response in the viewer. I geek out on stuff like that non-stop with my students, so they wouldn't dare get on Slack and tease me. They know what time it is. Yeah, that's his. It's just so. He just sounds so hurt. Like, really? Let's see. So I'm gonna keep on going on this for a while, and because after I finish this girl, then I'm gonna move on to this guy's head, and I'm already thinking that, ooh, all right. So before I finish the my ADD brain strikes again. All right. So before I finish this face, I want to I want to try something. 'Cause I did a sculpture a few years ago, and I want to see if I can use that as reference for this painting. Because it's kind of got a fish face. Angle of this might be a little off, though, but it might work. Let's see. Might have to rephotograph the sculpture. You guys can't see what I'm seeing right now. Just give me one sec. So try take this guy's head. Um, because like I was just making this up, this head as I went, and like sometimes I prefer to just sculpt something. Um, like some people use ZBrush, I use clay, and like if I could take this and warp it, it it would at least work as like the basis of uh, what I could then paint over. And I think that would work. So I'm gonna put this in here as a placeholder just for now, so that I remember to come back to it. But so I'm gonna do these shoulder pads, finish her hair. I'm try to get that all done today. Get the shoulders and her hair done, and that arm. So that's the goal. Um, and so that I don't lose track of, so that I don't lose my focus, I have this clock. Is it cool timer? Got this little clock, and I use this. If anybody has watched this stream long enough, know that I use this when drawing or painting stuff, and I just set the timer for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that, so that I'm only giving myself a certain amount of time to render something. And I can't go over that. So whatever I get done on a certain part of the body within 10 minutes is all the rendering it's going to get, and that kind of speeds you up. It speeds up your time, and speeds up your brush strokes and your, so you don't sit there noodling and over rendering. I think sometimes with this, I get caught up with that. So let me just press the start button. Yeah, the that approach to painting stuff that doesn't exist is something that I learned in college before I knew uh, how James worked. Because back when I was in school, there were no blogs, there was nothing unless you went to the artist's house. There was no YouTube. Man, I am mad old. So I learned how to sculpt stuff. That was a part of my training in college, was to learn how to sculpt, because they wanted us to understand the form in 3 dimensions, and so it was basically just applying that knowledge to clay. So it was really cool to find out that James Gurney worked the same way that I was taught, but it makes sense because he was probably taught the exact same stuff in school, especially studying paleontology to art. Probably take a sculpture class on dinosaurs and stuff like that. My painting teacher always said, imagine how much better that illustration would look if you understood how light hit the form of a creature or object that doesn't exist. There's just things that happen, especially when you're dealing with reflected light, you just can't make up. You could just be wrong. Most people might look at the painting and say, "Oh, that looks awesome." Somebody that knows better say this is all wrong. I want to be that guy that's just on Facebook going, "This is wrong." What do you know? Do you have 1 million followers? How can this be wrong? He's got 1 million followers. I'm trying not to be. I've learned my lesson. I learned. Don't be that guy that gets on online and goes, actually, proportions are off. Because, catch hell for it. I was helping somebody out. No. So, yeah, Tatum, it's so beneficial. And I do a lot of this is all painted all into one layer. I don't mess around with that. Building it up in stages of grayscale, mid-tone, shadow, highlight. I only do that for my intro students, but if somebody takes my illustration class, I kind of really push for them to just understand how to see value in color and just direct paint. Well, I mean, this is grayscale. I'm still treating this more like a concept design, but typically I would just go and attack it in color. But I'm glad I didn't do this because I would have ended up originally with a an orange, was it was red magenta jumpsuit kind of thing. And I think we had settled on this being more yellow. And I'm glad that I didn't. Glad that I did it like this, where I could just quickly change that color to be. Is it possible to draw the sketches by using a mouse? Oh, you poor thing. Um, it's it is just as easy to draw with a mouse as it is to paint a house with a brick. Just dip the brick in the bucket of paint and just slap it against the wall as hard as you can until you've painted the wall. Hope that answers your question. but you really got to slap it. Yeah, Huion, X Pen, save up and get a tablet, get a device to draw that stuff. There should be no reason for you to be stuck trying to do anything with a mouse. That's a quick way to get carpal tunnel. Very quick way to get carpal tunnel. Want to jack up your wrists for the rest of your life? Ain't anything with a mouse. I feel like I should make a YouTube video. It says, don't paint this with a mouse. In fact, actually, I'm going to do that because I'm working on a series of intro painting videos for the school, and I'm going to add that to the list. It's going to be me in like a smoking jacket, walk past the camera and say, "Oh, hey, how are you? Nice, Dad. Nice for you. Nice of you to join me. While you're here today, let's talk about Photoshop." So I got that shoulder done in under 10 minutes. I want to just methodically move through this and render stuff, but getting lost with bouncing around. So exactly, just like that. Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Just like close a book. Maybe the book's upside down, it doesn't matter. To like close the book, place it down on the table, say, follow me. Let's go into my studio. You might be wondering, how do I use Photoshop? I'm a complete noob. Then put the definition of noob. Put the definition of noob up on the screen so that people don't think I was like calling them names. Something offensive. So this hair is getting 10 minutes. That's it. That's it, and that is all. There's got to be like a little bit of a entertainment value to it because there's a ton of how to paint anything on YouTube. Right? I tend to keep clicking on the ones where somebody's doing something in the program that I would forever do. How to paint a house with a brick. Step 1. Dip the brick in the paint. It'll sound just like that too. Not even messing around. God. Production value. I feel like if somebody were to go back and watch these videos back to back, you can slowly watch my progression uh, to insanity somewhere around like the 1 hour mark. Yep, that's where he lost it. Started talking to himself. Nobody was even watching. He was just sitting here talking to himself. So there are texture lessons, um, like painting metal, painting hair, stuff like that in the intro concept course. So this is just how I paint it. I'm not that strand of hair person. Step 2, lick the brick. Yeah. Yep. It's the truth. It's funny. So I'm thinking about this more in masses. An edge pro should probably be using a larger brush. Opacity. Thinking about it more in masses. Putting down this warmer brownish tone. And saving all of those strands and stuff like for the end. Strands of loose hairs, and instead of trying to get caught up with immediately trying to paint every strand of hair, I see some students do. Taking shapes and blending to each other. Oh my goodness. No, I have not heard of Mr. Craftman. That oh man. Have you seen those videos that are like it's a critique of the Star Wars prequels where the guy's talking about how Star Wars Episode 1 is the biggest failure since his son just like posts a photograph of his own kid. It's like, oh my god. It is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. Um, I was thinking about doing that. Just have that same kind of cadence to my voice, but I don't think school would. It's I I wish I could think of the name of it, but it's got like millions of views. He does all three parts. He does all three movies from the prequels. Just absolutely destroys them. It's like each one of them is almost 2 hours of him just ripping it. Not 2 hours. It's not like an hour. Incredible stuff. Really funny. Not for anybody that watched those films and was like, "Wow, this is the next best thing to sliced bread." Leave it. If you're the type of person that can watch a movie for 5 minutes and see nothing but plot holes, that's the video for you. I honestly don't know why certain people even watch movies, especially writers. Anybody that is a true, honest to God author. Because all they do is sit there and go, meh, I've written better, or I've read, or I've seen better, or this is that. And all they see is the plot holes, the sentence structure. Why did they do this? Why didn't they answer that? So many loose ends. All I keep thinking of is, well, write your own movie. Sure. This hair is going to take a little. Set it for 11 minutes this time. Hey, P Jiggy, welcome back. Thank you. Yeah, it's been slow, but it's 2 hours at a time, 8 hours a month. um, can I think the strands can go several layer. Oh, I baked all that into there. Okay, good. I do have elevator music, but I turned it down because I wanted people to hear me. It seems like whenever I turn on music, people are like, "What? What's he saying? What? Is he dropping knowledge? I can't hear him." Stop, turned it off, but I'll turn it back on. If anybody can't hear me, um, blame Madam Marie. Thanks a lot, man. I don't know if y'all can hear that music, but I think that's. There you go. So now it's not just me breathing into the mic. Just let me know if that's too loud. Choppy? Nope, still choppy. I take it back. Yeah. That's why I think I'll just stick to uh I'll stick to just breathing into the mic. You guys can play your own music, all right? Wanna like DMX it up on your end? Go for it. Anybody has any art related questions or anything like that? Feel free to ask away. I'm going to try and same time. So knowing that there's this violet magenta light in her hair like this or affecting her, I have to remember that that is either on her body, somewhere else on her body. uh, Working on your TA challenge. What's the TA challenge this week? Is it the gun thing? Pretty cool. Everybody's doing like weapons of war. I didn't see one sci-fi slingshot in the whole joint. Not one. Doesn't anybody just want to maim somebody? All just going for death weapons. Dystopian, just like a slingshot would be the total dystopian, quiet dystopian weapon. My weapon of choice. If I had some good range on it, hang you right in the back of your head. How many illustrations would I put into an illustration portfolio? No more than 10, no less than 6. Too little, it doesn't give enough, doesn't show your range. Too much, eventually you're going to put a clunker in there and you're going to be judged by your piece. You don't want somebody to look at your portfolio and see 9 solid pieces and then 1 clunker and then wonder, am I going to be the art director that they give the clunker to? Or is this person just not ready? Or is this a piece from, 4 years ago that they just tossed in here to fill up their book? I'd rather go with less than more. That makes sense. There you go. I'm getting bored with the hair. I want to go back to the shoulder. I want to have a little bit more progress moving down the body. Tend to oil paint the same way. I'll be working on an area, then I get bored, and then I start working on another area. Bounce around until it is all finished. It's a cohesive thing. But other times I'll set a timer like I am now and say, I am not getting up from this easel until this piece is done. This corner of this illustration, or this hand, or this foot, or this face, whatever the detail might be. Because if I don't force myself to do it like that, I could just sit and noodle around aimlessly. You don't want to do that. Oop. So once I get my camera, and I'm just letting people know that are watching this stream, regular viewer, live or YouTube later on or something. I think the next project I do for this stream after this is going to be because I've been given brain to just kind of do what I want with this stream, other than sing and dance. But I probably could convince powers that no, I'm not going to do this. I don't think you guys are ready for that kind of heat. But I can sit and I can paint whatever I want. other than client work, those NDAs and whatnot. So I'm going to do an oil painting. I just need to get my got a cam deck, not a cam link thing to hook up to my camera so that I can get that HD sweetness, HD quality stream going. And I think I'm going to need a camera pointed at me, a camera pointed at the easel, and a camera palette. So if there's anybody that has any kind of interest in oil painting, um, real Z painting, and that's what we're. How long is it going to take for you to finish this? I've been watching it for like 7 weeks. Feels like 20. This is going to be 20 weeks? I don't know. 20 weeks. My God, 20 weeks. No, I don't think it's going to be 20 weeks. I might lose interest way before. I at least want to get this one face done. Now that I talk about oil painting live on Twitch, I got excited about it. Shouldn't have said anything until it entice the audience, right? Tell them what's coming. Okay. Do you ever make illustration assets on the side? Assets. Assets. Yes. If you go to my Instagram page, you will see stuff that I post, jobs that I do outside of this. Got a couple of book covers. I do mostly book cover illustration and card art for Magic the Gathering. If you're not familiar with that, it's a international fantasy roleplay card game. Yeah, that's what I do. As I like to be able to say to students that I practice what I'm teaching. I don't want to be those teachers that tell students to do something I'm not actually doing. There's a lot of schools out there like that where the professor hasn't done an illustration in like 20 years, and they're like, you don't really need to know Photoshop, ZBrush, or anything. You just need to know how to paint. Oh, God. The students are just rolling their eyes. Thanks a lot, Gramps. It prepares for the real world. I won't say what colors that actually happens. Lawsuits and junk happen. I almost want to leave that gray now instead of coloring. Oh, I like it in color too. Oh, the red feels a lot more threatening. Um, Focusing on passive income through illustration, like as a side gig. Madam Marie is asking, what is my thought on focusing on passive income through illustration? Yeah. So, um, every illustrator I know, every single illustrator I know, has more than one stream of income. Okay. So some illustrators are work full time as concept artists and then moonlight as an illustrator at night, doing like book covers and trading card art. There's quite a few Magic the Gathering illustrators that are also professional concept artists working at game studios. Um, you wouldn't know that unless you stalk them. You don't have to stalk them. Just go to their ArtStation page and they tell you. Or you could stalk them. It's your choice. Whatever. Here to judge. But you know, there's there's also people that have day jobs, or you want to call it staff positions, doing something outside of illustration because they might not have the temperament to just be at home all the time. Might need to be around human beings. Um, but there's also people that juggle doing portraiture, uh, professional portraiture, selling original paintings. There's a huge aftermarket for certain types of illustration where somebody might not get paid a lot as an illustrator just on the jobs themselves, but then they can turn around and sell the original paintings from anywhere from 5 to 50 times what they were originally paid for the job. I just saw a Magic card original painting sell for $65,000. Job itself probably paid the guy maybe 2,000. So, yeah, my thoughts are, I mean, if you do what's comfortable for you, if you can make it as a full time professional illustrator and you can just work from home all day and want to uh, do it like that, also living is low and just live wherever you want. High speed internet, just upload a file and go to bed. Do it. Live that life. Enjoy yourself. If you're somebody that needs human interaction, can't be at home with your own thoughts for too long without going crazy, go get a staff job, a studio job, and do this at night. You get home, satisfy that need for humans. That's a whole other conversation. That T stuff. I don't understand it, but I feel like I am reaching that old man age where I'm like, you want to pay me how much for a JPEG? Yeah, okay. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. But uh, let more of my friends start making thousands and thousands of dollars, and I will eat my words and be on there trying to sell a random, surreal image of a goldfish with a horse head or something like that, animate it floating past the screen, and somebody might say $10,000. Give you $10,000 for it. I don't know. If you're not aware of what that NFT stuff is, non is it what is it non fuggable tokens? Don't ask me to explain it that, but I got a few friends that have made a lot of money, so that's great. It's fantastic. Yeah, probably. Fun is it? Yeah, fungible. Yeah, it's just weird. It's got a thing. It's, it's, let's wrap up this hair chest out. What else did I say I was gonna do? I'm sitting here like organizing these layers. That's right. Stuff so that I'm lost. So, Marie, you could have passive income doing anything aside. There's people that have accounting businesses and their day job is something completely different. So, art is no different. It really comes down to finding that making the time to do have a career that you enjoy, doing something that you love. And if it becomes lucrative enough to quit whatever the other thing was so that you could do that passive income full time, then go for it. It's a lot. It's a lot. That's what they aim for. For some illustrators, their version of that passive income is their Patreon accounts. So that I've seen that really be a way for artists to pick and choose what clients they work with, or even if they want to take on illustration work or any kind of commercial artwork, whether it's concept art or whatever. Because if you know that you've got a huge fan base, that fan base is giving you uh, thousands of dollars a month to sit and create your own work, your own personal work. Why would you want to do it for anybody else? Why would you want to do what somebody commissions you to do for them? If you're earning, 6 grand a month or more, just doing your own thing and then sharing the Photoshop files and offering up JPEGs, not JPEG, yeah, wallpapers and buttons and posters and all that merch to your followers, to your supporters. There's just different ways of earning a living that uh, are new ways of living. It's a huge shift. It's a huge shift. How things used to be. You used to need to be good enough to get a job doing whatever. Now be you still have to be good, but you're not competing directly against anybody else for work. You just have to build a following and have like you and say, sure, I'll give this guy $10 a month. This girl or who that that money adds up. You have 300 people giving you $10 a month. That adds up. Ooh, I don't know whether to delete that post or not. So you're saying you always looked up to CG Spectrum, always looked up to CG Spectrum courses, but couldn't afford them. So thank you so much for these live streams. Am I giving away trade secrets or something for free? Man, I hope not. I'm in trouble for that. Don't give away all the secrets. No, you're welcome, man. Welcome. This is fun for me as well, just to be able to share and talk shop. Just getting paid to sit here and paint a robot girl 2 hours. Are you kidding me? I would have done this in my spare time for free. I get to share this experience with people from all over the world. It's cool. So if you go to CG Spectrum's Twitter page, not Twitter page, Instagram page, you let them know that your favorite Twitch stream is me, Eric Wilkerson. That's with a C, not a CK, not a K. It's ERIC. I swear if anybody spells my name wrong, I'm going to flip out. Thank you. Spell it with Q. Eric LaSalle ruined it for all of us. Ruined it. Yeah, the TAs are really throwing heat out there. I really love that what they're doing. Uh, really supportive and positive and demos and everything because they're uh, you know they're really helpful because there's so many students now that it's sometimes hard for the mentors to get on there and give a lot of feedback, outside of their class time. So to have the TAs cheering people on and helping them out is really cool to see. Just joining us or stepped away to eat lunch or take a bathroom break and you left when I was rendering the hair, and now all of a sudden I'm painting an arm and you're not done with the hair. It's just how I am. Got bored, decided to paint an arm. So that's how it's going to be. See, I'm not a manga reader. I had no idea who that was before my entire Facebook feed started crying. So I'm like, then I had to look up what Berserk was. Berserk, is that what the name of? I'd never heard of it. But yeah, it's always sad when somebody keels over, leaves before their time, especially if it's an artist that was working on something unfinished, or that's like a comic book that I loved and that doesn't have an ending. Um, yeah, I was more in anime Honestly, I bowed out of comic books, uh, like monthly comic books. I stopped reading monthly comic books years ago. I'll get the occasional graphic novel, but yeah, I have to check it out. I was sad when Mobius passed, and then somebody else died this year. COVID. This French artist. Remember his name now. Yeah, he's my favorite, but I can't remember. Sucked. Sad. Trade paperbacks are nothing for me. Comics are ridiculously overpriced. Hashtag facts. Getting into all these little nitpicky details. This is just stuff I all right. Last couple minutes. Let me just power through, paint this hair to this hair as I can. What are those five main characters? What are those five characters? Who are they? Wolverine, Beast, Craven the Ben Parker. Wasn't bad as Daredevil. I don't. It's a lot of. It was the script. It wasn't him. I thought he was fine. Just gave him crap to do. And I don't know. It's just sometimes actors are as memorize these lines and say them in front of the camera. Find somebody else to do. Protest. They can try to control. Imagine painting something, putting all your effort and love into it, gets released into the world. Shit. I can't imagine how that must feel as an actor to know you're working on a crappy project and hope that they at least say that your performance was okay. Oh no, can you hear me now? Maybe I'm. Oh, my head was down, so I was. You know? Hear me now? Oh. Alright. Looks like I gotta splurge on a microphone. Madam, did you hear my rant on Ben Affleck and struggles of being an artist? Nobody loving your work? I don't think I could. Too heartbroken. Well, uh, cats and kittens, I think that's where I'm gonna have to leave you today. Um, got some family stuff going on tonight. Attentive for not composing illustrations in my head, usual. So save this. Oh my god, that is the first time I've saved this file. Oh god. All right, I'm gonna need somebody to say to me like halfway through, "Hey Eric, saved," because the power could have gone out and I would have lost everything, and I would have had to blame Luis for not saying, "Hey Eric, save." And all your fault, Luis. I would have blamed it on you, just for no reason at all. I just would have blamed. All right. So thank you guys for joining me. It's always fun to not be in here doing this by myself. Um, and save and guys, and I will talk to you all next week.